boy got some money. Joy, where you at, baby? Spending that money.
And all you have to do is look at the playoffs and see what those teams spent. And you understand darn near why they're in the playoffs. It's kind of hard to compete with somebody who's giving $25-30 million to a darn freshman class.
Colorado's broke. They don't have NIL money. And Deion Sanders is just complaining. Deion Sanders is calling out the NCAA like he's always been. While he has been a very big user of the transfer portal, and he's been pretty vocal about it, he's also been very adamant and vocal about the negatives of surrounding the NIL. Now, it seems that certain reporters, right, are trying to paint Deion Sanders in a certain way. So is it because he's telling the truth? Is it because some of these big schools don't want to give up their big NIL money and some of their loopholes? Well, we'll get to the bottom of it. So today we're going to be watching some of the videos from Deion Sanders from Big 12 Media Day. It's been a long time since Deion Sanders has been in front of the cameras. Obviously, he's had some health scares and different things. We don't cover health scares and stuff like that just because, again, like Deion Sanders is going to say in this little media representation, look, dog, it's not what it's about. It's about football. And more importantly, somebody that Deion Sanders has been, and some of the basis of my channel that Deion Sanders has done, is be outspoken for the positive change for college football. Let's hear what he has to say about the college football NIL system.
And Brian, you were talking about it during your presser about NIL and what these players deserve and how the game is modified to that point. From where you sit, doing it at the highest level in the NFL, how do you believe NIL should be guardrailed now, especially with the revenue sharing?
I wish it was a cap. You know, like the top of the line player makes this, and if you're not that type of guy, you know you're not going to make that. That's what the NFL does. So the problem is you got a guy that's not that darn good, but he could go to another school and they give him $500,000, and you can't compete with that. That don't make sense. And you're talking about equality, not equality, like equal. I guess equality. And all you have to do is look at the playoffs and see what those teams spent. And you understand darn near why they're in the playoffs. It's kind of hard to compete with somebody who's giving $25-30 million to a darn freshman class.
Right.
It's crazy. We're not complaining because all these coaches up here can coach their butts off and give them the right opportunity with the right players and play here and there, you'll be there. But it's what's going on right now don't make sense. And we want to say stuff, but we're trying to be professional. But you're going to see the same teams darn near at the end and with somebody who sneaks up in there. But the team that pays the most is going to be there in the end.
So,
and that can be taken in a lot of different ways. Now, I'll be honest with you because this is something that Deion Sanders has been saying for a long time. In fact, here's Deion Sanders just at the Alamo Bowl speaking about what he wanted to change about college football. Pretty consistent, if you ask me.
I don't want to be outdated. I want to be on the cusp of forward thinking. So whatever they say, whatever they pass, we just try to stay ahead of it. And as long as we play the game of football, I'm good with it.
I've had a minute to think. Well, Coach graciously answered the question. I think financial literacy classes should be mandatory, so these kids understand how to manage their money when they get their money. And I think it should be a pay scale. It should be structured. It can't be just Tom, Dick, and Harry gets this because he had a great year somewhere else. Then that throws off the chemistry and the structure of your whole team. It's just like one of you guys coming out here and some guy from outside come in here and they make more money than you, and they haven't even been doing the work that you've done. It's not fair. And I think the NFL has handled it right, and we need to mimic the NFL when it comes to that, because right now we're not pros, but we're semi-pro.
And I'm big on, right, when I make these videos, I'm big on consistency and having facts, right? There's nothing wrong with being wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with being misunderstood or even having an opinion that some people don't agree with or whatever. But I can tell when y'all are just doing things for clicks or just trying to post angles or just trying to be mad about something, when y'all are just trying to be mad about something and frame it and not be consistent about something. And that's going to come up later. But more specifically, when talking about Coach Prime, I'm saying it positively because he's just asked about it. What does he say? He says the exact same thing. He's asked about it back in December, right? That's when the Alamo Bowl is, or is that January? I forgot. He's asked back then, and what does he say? Hey, it needs to be more consistent. We need to have an NFL model. It's simple as that, right? And then on top of that, this is 2024. This is the beginning of the season. So that's the end of the season. This is the beginning of this season. Here is the beginning of last season. What did he have to say about NIL?
When I say I genuinely love these kids, I genuinely really do. It's not about what they can do for me on the football field. It's about what I can help them with in life. Landscape has changed in football. Once upon a time, you guys never attacked college players. Now they're making more money than y'all. And some of y'all are envious and jealous about that. So you're on the attack. It was hands off a college player because he's an amateur. Remember? Remember that, guys? Now it's hands on. Go at them any kind of way you want. They're making more money than me, and I'm mad about it. When you attack them, these guys are sensitive. They've never been attacked. They hadn't gone through what I've been going through with y'all for years. They haven't done that. So it is what it is. I know you're going to do your job and what you must do, but your job does not say attack. The personal stuff, leave it to be personal, because if we start flipping the script on y'all, you wouldn't like it. I can easy. Thank you, Lord, for stopping me there.
Yeah, we're gonna stop you there, Coach Brian. I only bring this video up to bring up the intentionality behind what Deion says. Now, we have more interviews from the Big 12 Media Day, but I want to handle somebody real quick because, Brett McMurphy, I got a bone to pick because it actually involves these, so we're good. We'll do it right here. So I say those things to say that if you don't watch college football, right, you might not be familiar with Texas Tech, right? And if you've been watching my channel, you are, because we've been talking about the oil billionaire that Texas Tech has running around and putting in money. And they most recently just signed a 5-star offensive tackle who stole it from my horns. They stole him from Matthew McConaughey and my Texas Longhorns, all right? They took it from us. Big boy offensive tackle, right? And the big thing about it, and the big question about it was, hey, have we gone too far? And we do this every single year with NIL. Somebody with a bigger gun in Texas Tech with some oil money is starting to put Texas in a locker, and that's fine. Hey, it's all good, because Texas, the only reason why we're good again is because NIL. Let's be honest. We can all be truthful. I'm a truthful Texas fan. Only reason why we're good again is because we're allowed to pay players, because it was rough. We were just losing players to Oklahoma and Texas A&M and Florida. Now we're losing them to Texas Tech. just a different flavor. Okay, I say all that to say it's easy to see how some people might feel a certain way. But and this is for another video, and that we'll make, but we're not gonna make this video yet. But a part of what I'm adding this video is isn't it interesting that this is defended? Like, you go look it up. It's defended, and people are praising it because it's a small school using money to go against a big school. When the big school did it, like Deion Sanders was talking about, and that goes all the way back, when Deion Sanders talks about, hey, we need a salary cap. Hey, you can't just pay people. When we were talking about Ohio State, University of Texas, Michigan, again, if you watch the season, I pulled up the stats. We looked up the top 10 most valuable teams, and then we looked at the college football playoff. The only outliers were Arizona State, SMU, and Penn State was up there. Penn State was top 10, I believe. And I think LSU was up there, but they weren't in the playoffs. So, whatever. There's that little thing. Alabama was up there, but they weren't in the playoffs. But by and large, the things Deion Sanders says are that's true. We've looked at the stats. We have. So when we go take another step and you see someone, Brett McMurphy, this guy is signed with On3. He is the senior representative. He is the representation of a lot of college football media. And I'm only saying this to say, because we talk about Shador a lot. We've been talking about Deion a lot. And one of the reasons why I make videos and I started talking about Colorado is because, again, I'm a Texas fan. Y'all know that. I'm a Texans fan. I still make Texas videos. Y'all don't get my comments say, you only make Shador videos. Actually, I do make Texas videos. Y'all just don't watch them. So there you go. So don't do that. Just say my Texas videos are ass. You don't have to rub it in my face, okay? I say all that to say the reason why I made these videos is because I'm looking at a person in Deion Sanders who's clearly saying things that Nick Saban says, that every other SEC coach says, that every other old school quarter or head coach says. Hey, we need to pay the players, but there needs to be a system. There needs to be, a professional way, because Deion Sanders is some random dude. Oh no, he's one of the most decorated NFL players, one of the most decorated athletes of all time. So he might know what he's talking about. Then you double that up and say that, okay, why is he saying that? Let's go back in time. We checked. Why is Deion Sanders saying that? Because he wants to protect the kids. And do we have more proof to ensure that it's because he wants to protect the kids? Yes, we have more proof that Deion Sanders is saying a consistent thing because he wants to protect the sanctity of college football. Only Deion Sanders gets those words spun and spin to him being ungrateful and selfish. Colorado's broke. They don't have NIL money. And Deion Sanders is just complaining. Because Brett McMurphy, with all these videos available to him, with the full context available to him, you know what he tweets out? 226, 228. First out, 226. Colorado Deion Sanders asked the question about the Athletic, refuses to answer. You gonna be on that bull junk. Now, interesting. This is interesting because you notice that he doesn't put the question. Wow. Why would he not put the question? Is it because Twitter has only a certain amount of characters? Nope. Sorry. He's got the check mark. He can go as long as he wants. He can tweet one of these videos that I easily found just on Twitter to add context to it. So if you want to know what he said or the question was, I'm not here to talk about my health. I'm here to talk about my team. It's been very public that Deion Sanders has had health problems. So the media, just as spineless as they are, because if it bleeds, it leads. They don't care what they have to talk about to get their clicks. Right? Call me a Glazer. I don't care, because what I don't have to do as a senior reporter is take people for bad faith arguments and to set up to set up Deion Sanders to make him look worse, to make him look like his audience, Brett McMurphy. You can see what he looks like. You know what those types of people feel about Deion Sanders. That's not me making something up. I know the demographic. And it's not, hey, y'all get my comments. It's not just about color. It's not. It's about a mindset. It's about seeing someone who is boisterous and proud and uplifts people and speaks positive of God. I just want to, because I don't want to get it, mixed up. Those combinations makes y'all so upset that y'all need to falsely paint Deion Sanders in a way that makes him seem like some egotistic ego man. And you want to know why? Because I don't want you to think I'm lying, because we can go in the comments. So what are the comments saying? Oh, boy. What was the question? When the Arizona State fired Herm Edwards, there was a booster money saying we need to go after Deion Sanders. Every day I'm so thankful ASU hired Kenny Dillingham instead. And we're going to get into some comments about Deion Sanders, what he said on Kenny Dillingham. Shocker. Egomaniac gets his butt hurt over any innocent question. That's what people are saying, but you did not provide the context. It was about his health. So here's my issue, and we're going to get now back to the NIL part. Because it's about, hey, pay attention, because I know I'm here hooting and hollering. I'm sorry for yelling in your household, but this is how they paint people. I'm going to tweet this out. Guess what came out first? This came out first. Oh, Deion Sanders, he likes to complain in the media. But when Nick Saban does it, it's cool. When these other coaches do it, it's cool. Even Fran Brown, pay attention. They're going to use Fran Brown to alleviate any of the color questions. They're going to say, oh, but we like Fran Brown. Even though Fran Brown looks up to and openly talks about the mentorship with Deion Sanders. But Fran Brown's cool, right? We going to get to that. So Deion Sanders complaining again. So then when he tweets out this, Colorado Deion Sanders, Texas Tech, Joey got some money, spending that money. Now, just tweeting this, guess what this does? It makes it seem like Deion Sanders is what? Complaining. But it leaves out the fact that Joey Maguire and Deion Sanders are open friends. Because the clicks don't click like that. That's the, you know what I'm saying? Brett it clearly is struggling with some clicks. The head over there at On 3 clearly struggling. Keeping the clicks alive. Because here's the full video.
Ramirez with RedRaidersports.com. You talked a lot about Media Day last year about your relationship with Joey and Maguire.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if you paid attention at all to what they've been doing in the portal, especially.
Yeah. Joey got some money. Joey, where you at, baby? Spending that money. I love it. I love it. Once upon a time, you guys was talking junk about me going in that portal. Now, when everybody go in the portal, it's okay. It's cool when they do it. But it's a problem when I do it. Ain't that a rap song? First of all, let's get this straight. I love me some Joey Maguire. And one of the best coaches in our conference. I've seen him excel from high school all the way to where he is now, and he's a winner. And I absolutely love it. And you know I love him because he's a man of standard. We played there last year, and we was getting bombarded by them tortillas. I don't know how to say it. Somebody said
Tortillas.
Tortillas. We was getting bombarded by that. And Joey grabbed the microphone and told him to stop throwing at us, or it's going to be some consequences. And I love that. And I love Joey. Joey, I know you're out there, baby. I love you, man. I appreciate you. Can you send, a few of those dollars to us so we can get some of those players too?
Not to huff and puff too much, because he said, hey, Deion said what I was gonna say. That's what the other video is gonna be about. It's so interesting how if I go in these comments, and let's go ahead and go to the comments. I think this is it right here. Oh no, this is the actual comments. If I go into these comment section, I wonder, am I gonna get a bunch of people? And you know what's crazy? Here's the craziest part about this, because I actually I've made videos about NIL. So I have videos with hundreds of comments of y'all and how y'all feel about NIL. And the way y'all feel about NIL and the transfer portal is the same way Deion Sanders feels, at least when he says it. So now that Deion Sanders and again, if you watch the full video, it's a joke. They are friends. This is just it's just bad reporting. So Brett McMurphy, I want everybody to know, Brett McMurphy, college football insider for On3, right? America's college football insider, also known as our own or our report, right? Clearly biased and bad at his job. I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just a dude yapping. I like to stay based in facts. These reporters don't. And that's why I hope Deion Sanders bullies reporters again. Because we see what them NFL reporters do. You see what reporters have done. You see what media members do when they get inside, when they get the opportunity. Instead of uplifting, enriching, and informing, they find ways to tear people apart. How do I get y'all mad at Deion Sanders, the man who has been sick for the past however many months? And I'm not about to do the whole Russell Westbrook thing. Again, if you've been around NBA, Twitter, you know the joke. How dare you bully Russell Westbrook, and it's him and his beautiful family and doing the things because he's a very philanthropic person. I'm not about to do that. But the man was just injured. 2-3 years ago, he was getting his toes or whatever chopped off, all these other surgeries. And through all of it, he smiles and praises God and goes on the Big 12 media. In the first opportunity he gets, he advocates for the betterment of young players in NIL, because y'all don't want to hear it. But in my videos, I also say, yes, the players deserve money. They also deserve for it to be a system, so they're not high and dry. They need a system for the NCAA to enforce the transfer portal rules, not add another transfer window. So what are the comments said? I love it when people say NIL is ruining college sports. These kids were getting paid. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Hey, shout out to y'all in the comments. They're actually calling them out. Never mind. So you can see it. Awesome quote. L reporter, ring up the clicks, Brett. Joey better win. So I don't even got to say nothing. But I want y'all to see it. I want y'all to see what's happening. I'm happy. Maybe this video don't even need it because y'all, clearly people are seeing through it. Dog, it's crazy. But, hey, man, that's what happens when you call out the NCAA. That's what happens when you stay consistent. That's what happens when you advocate for the betterment of these young men playing the sport. This is what they do. This is what the insiders in media does for you. Have a blessed day. Be amazing. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Comment a hateful comment if you feel so welcoming to do so. Be amazing. We'll see you next time.